Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 114 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what I've been up to and what I've accomplished. So happy to have you back here again. So it's a gorgeous day. It is, what day is it? It's Saturday, June the 4th, 2022, and it's a nice summer day. It's, I think, in the upper 70s, might be up to getting closer to 80, 82 degrees Fahrenheit today. It's gorgeous. It's not too hot, but it's nice and warm. And it still, last night it cooled off nicely, so we have the windows open and it cooled down the apartment nicely last night. Earlier this week it got up closer to 90 degrees and it was too stinking hot. Anyways, I didn't get as much knitting done as I would have liked because I was just too warm. And anything I was knitting was just, it was too warm. So I've basically been monogamous this week with my knitting, and I have spent, anytime I was knitting, I've spent working on my Let's Roll socks. These are a pair of socks. They are by Zoesphere. I think I'm saying that properly. I hope I'm saying that properly. It is the qualifying round pattern for Super Sock World Championship, which is another sock knitting contest that I typically try to participate in each summer. And I'm liking the pattern. The way they have the competition set up this year, you had to register by somewhere near the end of May. I think it was the 25th of May or thereabouts. And then you were sent, or you were given access to the qualifying round pair of socks. And then once you were finished with the qualifying round pair of socks, you're able to participate in the full competition and you'll get access to the remainder of the patterns. So here's where I am so far. They're kind of bright. I like them. They're designed to be used in anywhere from 2 to 4 or multiple different colors. And I opted for doing 3 colors. I'm doing the cuff, heel, and I will do the toe in this yellow. It was a yarn I dyed. All of the yarns I'm using on the sock are yarns I dyed myself, and they're all leftovers. So I didn't break into a brand new skein for this. I'm just using leftovers from other socks. So the yellow, and I should have it, I'm pretty sure I'll have enough of the yellow to do the toe plus the other sock. And for the 2 main colors, I'm using this blue and this pink. And these were all ones I think I used. This blue was actually used on the last pair, the round 5 Sock Madness socks that eliminated me. The pink was used on some other pair of socks, and same with the yellow. So what I think I will do, I'm going to weigh the skeins once I finished the first sock, and I think I'm going to reverse the colors of the pink and the blue. So I will do the, see, they're little bicycles. That's so cute. This competition is loosely based on following the Tour de France bike race. So it's a nod to the origins. So I'm thinking for the second sock, what I will do is I will do the background pink and the bicycle blue, and then continue on doing the alternating colors all the way down the sock as called for. So there's a few techniques that I thought were really fun in this, and I've used a little bit. The color work might be a little bit tight. I tried to keep it as loose as I could. It was recommended that we use a ladder back jacquard or jacquard, however you pronounce it, technique to keep the floats nice and loose, because there are some parts where it's a long stretch between the colors, and I can see when it's this way that I've got some puckering here, so I didn't do the best job of keeping the float loose going around from one needle to the other needle when I was doing magic loop. Especially you can see it on this side. But worst case scenario, if they don't fit me, they will fit somebody. So, and then on the stripes, we use a helical method of doing the stripes. On the leg, we had to indicate we had to do 20 rounds, so I have a marker at the beginning, after the colorwork section, to where I've got 10 rows, then the second 10 rows before I could do, it's a standard heel flap and heel turn and gusset, and then continuing down the foot using the same method with the helical knitting, or helical, yeah, this is helical knitting, is that how it's worded? It's a technique I don't use that often because I don't often knit with stripes. I've read a few places saying that it's an excellent way of doing a sweater or a garment or something if you're using multiple skeins of hand-dyed yarn and you're alternating skeins or alternating skeins all the way through. It's a nice way to do it so that you don't see as much shift or change from one skein to another skein if there's a little bit of a difference from one to another in hand-dyed yarn. So it's a handy technique, and I'm enjoying it. I don't think I've done it often, and it's a really neat technique, and one I'm glad I'm having a chance to practice it on these socks. So the foot will continue on with the stripes and the helical striping, and then the toe will be done. I think it's just a basic wedge toe, will be done in the yellow again. I had a lot of trouble with this pattern in choosing what yarn I wanted to use. I really struggled with that. I was thinking of doing the cuff in yellow, the heel in orange, the toe in red. I hummed and hawed about all kinds of color options, so I'm happy with the way it's working out now. So I'm hoping that when I weigh out the yarn, the pink and the blue, I'm hoping that I'm able to do them fraternal, where I use pink as the background and blue as the bicycle on the second sock. And the qualifying round has to be completed by, I believe, the 15th of June. So I best get going on these. I have a couple other things that I want to work on between now and then, so I best keep moving along with those so that I finish them on time and I qualify. I would kind of be, we had almost 3 weeks to do it, and I'd be kind of disappointed with myself if I had almost 3 weeks to knit a relatively uncomplicated pattern. Compared to Sock Madness, the Tour de Sock, or sorry, it used to be called Tour de Sock, the Super Sock World Championship, the patterns are a lot less intense than Sock Madness was. So I do want to move forward in the competition, and I want to continue working on socks for those patterns. So I best buckle down and keep working on those, and hopefully when I see you next week I will have a finished pair of socks and hopefully a good start on a second project. With Sock Madness, the final round of Sock Madness will be starting, I think, in about 12 hours from now. It's the middle of the night sometime is my time zone when the final pattern is going to be coming out. So once they get into the final, they give everyone participating a very narrow window of when the pattern will come out, so that it kind of evens the playing field across all of the competitors in the final round. So I'm very curious to see what that pattern looks like, and potentially I might knit that. I was contemplating casting on, I think it was called Sock Princess, was the round 6 pattern. I'm still very seriously considering doing it in the future, but I don't have the time. I think I was over ambitious last week when I was talking about it and thinking I might cast those on. I don't have the time to do that. So, or the inclination right now. But it's quite likely that I will make those socks in the future. And time will tell what happens with the final round. I'm very curious to check what the pattern looks like and check my email and see what the pattern looks like when I get out of bed tomorrow morning, because by the time I get up in the morning, the pattern will have been released by then. So I'm very excited to see what that pattern looks like. So we shall see. So I will keep plugging along with my Let's Roll socks, and I hope to get them finished. I'm hoping to get them finished this week. It is a relatively quick knit. Other than the colorwork section, it's mostly a basic vanilla pattern with the helical stripes going on. That's the only complicated part once you finish the colorwork section. And the colorwork section is only roughly 25 rounds. 22, 24, I don't remember exactly. It's in the neighborhood of 25 rounds. So it's not daunting. I just have to get going and buckle down and get the first one finished and get the second sock moving. So that's my only work in progress. So I was just making sure my yarn's going to stay put there, not go rolling across the room. So that's my only work in progress I've had this week. I have, if you noticed yesterday, I posted an unboxing of some yarn. And I believe that's the first yarn I have bought in 2022. I know, I'm just like, whew, get the smelling salts. That's almost shocking to hear that. But I don't think I've bought yarn yet this year until now. And I'm planning on casting on the Miss May shawl mystery knit along. And it's a mystery knit along pattern that's put out by Helen Stewart. And it will be released, the first clue, I think that it comes out in 5 clues. The first clue is coming out on Tuesday. So I'm not sure if that's Tuesday. I think she's in Australia, I think is where she's based. So I'm not sure if it's coming out on Tuesday her time or when exactly the pattern will come out. But it's set to be, the first clue is set to be released on Tuesday the 7th of June. So I'm excited for this. I've done a couple of her mystery shawls in the past and I love them. I really like her shawl patterns. I don't wear shawls a whole lot, but I love knitting them. I absolutely love knitting them. So I'm really excited to get that pattern or get the first clue and get knitting. So I decided, I hopped onto webs, I guess yarn.com, and took a look at what they had out. And the pattern calls for 4 color, there's 2 options. You can either do the pattern in a single color, and in that case you need 3 100-gram skeins of fingering weight yarn, or if you want to do multicolor. It calls for four 100-gram or 4 colors of 100-gram skeins of yarn, fingering weight yarn. So I went on to Webs, searched there, and they had a clearance sale on, I don't remember if it was a clearance sale or if it was in the garage sale section. Anyways, it was heavily discounted yarn, and I got, if you saw my video yesterday, you've seen this already. So these are the 4 colors I got. They are, and these are the only 4 colors of this yarn that they had available, period. I don't know if it's a yarn they're discontinuing or what the story is behind it, but these were the only 4 colors they had. So I took a chance and I ordered 2 skeins of each of the 4 colors. And I think it was only $4.50 a skein. So it was on a decent sale. So the yarn is the Cloudborne Highland Superwash Sock Twist, and it is a wool polyamide, a wool nylon blend, and I have the 4 colors. So this darker, little bit darker brown is, I can't read this without my glasses on, and I forget what the color names are. Where's the color on this one? Stone Heather is this one. This one is Taupe Heather. This one is Ocean. And this one is Lagoon. And again, this blue is a much brighter blue than it's showing up on camera. It's just that it's just not showing up quite as bright a blue as it really is. But those will be my four colors. So I think they look okay together. This blue is a bit bright. These 3 really blend beautifully together. This one's kind of a bright pop of color compared to these 3. But I like them. I wasn't 100% convinced when I opened it up yesterday, and the more I sit and look at them, I really like the colors. I'm very seriously considering ordering more in a sweater quantity, whether I do a color work choice using those, or if I just get a single color. My yarn got, the pink yarn got away. I didn't put it down well. The blue, I would love to have a sweater's quantity just in this blue. This is beautiful. I really like this. I think it's 178, the 50-gram skeins, right, it's 178 yards. So I might look at getting enough of this to make a summery top or a cardigan. I'm not sure yet, but it's a gorgeous color. Or I was thinking about different combinations. This would make a beautiful color work sweater. Or this one would also be gorgeous. Or that one. All of these would be very nice. Even the 2 neutrals, the 2 browns, would make a nice subtle color work. So I am very seriously considering ordering more yarn. I don't need more yarn, but I want more yarn. We shall see. We shall see. So, also, if you watched my video yesterday, there was like the yarn came in like a big bag, and then there was this big wrapped in bubble wrap thing in there, and if you watch that, just say, I don't know what this is in here for. And so I just put it aside and I just tucked it down, leaning against the leg of my desk. And then later on in the day, I just happened to pick up the invoice that came in the package. And I hadn't even looked at it before, and I looked at it and I'm like, what did I spend $16 on? Sometimes I'm a real ding dong. I had ordered a set of the, what are they, Bryce spun metal sock blockers. And I had completely forgot I ordered them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just that's bad. I just completely forgot I had ordered this set, or this pair. So I ordered the large because my socks are completed socks. The foot is usually between 9 to 10.5 inches long, 9.5 to 10.5 inches long, which is my foot length. But I had completely forgotten I had ordered this. What a ding dong. Oh my gosh. Completely forgot. Honestly, my husband and I joke around about it. We really don't think we're going to recognize if I start going senile. I don't think we're going to recognize it because I've been forgetful always. This is just another example. Like I say, I watched the video, it's just a little 4-minute video I posted yesterday with my unboxing of the yarn. And you'll see me pull out this thing and wonder, like, what's this for? That's kind of weird. And I just put it aside and just completely ignored it until... what a ding dong. Anyway, so I have nice fancy sock blockers now. I no longer have to use the ones that I've made my own using placemats from the kitchen table. I had bought regular placemats and I'd use those. I cut them out and made them into sock blockers. So now I have a fancy pair. I'm just glad I didn't just toss out that chunk of wrapped cardboard. And I couldn't understand why they would have put this big hunk of cardboard in there. Like, you just wrap up the yarn, it's not fragile. I maybe shouldn't even be admitting this story in public. Anyway, so fancy new sock blockers. So on that note, in the upcoming week I have some things I have to get done work-wise. I also have a 2-day conference, a virtual conference that I will be joining, listening to, watching, whatever the term is. And it's on the 8th and 9th, so Wednesday and Thursday. And it runs from, I think, 11 till 4, both days. So with these, it's all over Zoom, so I can have I don't have to have my camera on. I might be asking a few questions here and there, probably not a lot, so I can keep my mic off and probably keep my camera off most of the time, so I can knit. I'll have a notepad beside me and a pen so I can jot down notes of notes I want from the conference, but otherwise I can work on my knitting. So I can spend some time working on the mystery shawl, and I can spend some time working on my Let's Roll socks. So hopefully by next week I will have a finished pair of socks to show you, and I'll be able to show you what I've done on the mystery shawl. When I do show that, I will put up a spoiler screen, and then I will, in case you're also knitting the shawl at the same time and you want it to remain a surprise, I'll put a little spoiler bumper on and a timestamp of when it'll be safe to come back and watch, if you don't want the surprise spoiled for yourself. But I do want to show off where I'm at with that. So I am hoping to get a fair bit of work done on that this week, and I really am hoping to be able to finish the Let's Roll socks. I do have several days before the shawl pattern comes out, so hopefully I can get it done. We'll see. Come back in a week and see. I'm not sure if I'll be filming on Friday or late in the day on Saturday. We have a lot of things going on Saturday. There's a brunch at the church on Sunday late morning, so we'll be heading down there probably fairly early, probably about 8 in the morning. Then brunch, then my husband is going to be doing a funeral on Saturday afternoon, and I'll be going along with him so I can give him a hand with running the audiovisual stuff and the music and stuff like that. And by the time we get home, it's probably going to be late in the afternoon, and I might be zonked out tired by then. So I might opt for filming on Friday, or I might leave it until Saturday afternoon when we're home. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll decide that on Friday or Saturday. And Sunday I won't be able to film because we have church all morning, and then we've got some things going on in the afternoon. So I wouldn't have time to film on Sunday until after supper. So it'll either be Friday next week or it might be later on Saturday. We'll see. We'll see what time I get around to getting it done. So hopefully I'll have a finished pair of socks to show you, and some progress on my Miss May shawl mystery cow. So yeah, so I'll have a new cast on and hopefully a finished object to show you. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me this week. Take care, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.